Back again for another week in the markets. We've seen the whole week play out. So much to go through because I was in 4 positions last week. So I'm here on the Friday to discuss the full week because I had no more positions to take or analysis difference from last week, really. I was looking for DXY upside. We're going to get straight into it because there's a lot to talk about. And really, I was just banking on the fact we can come up into this liquidity. We had a rejection from the lows here. I do want to talk about DXY a little bit more again. And I may be looking for a few changes into Q4. We'll talk about that at the end. Into the good stuff now. I'm just looking for price to continue to... We rejected here. On that idea, if we're creating higher structure, we broke this lower high. This is a failed lower high to make a new low here. We then created a higher high, did not come into this liquidity, then pulled back, creating higher structure here, looking for the extension. I think really that daily FVG, I don't really think that's the target. I think this high here is my overall target on DXY, and it's sitting above the key level 100, and I think that's a really high probability on the daily to get tagged now. So my analysis was upside, and to be honest, I'm seeing this as another wick down to leave this area, and you can see on EU, my analysis was similar. Despite this candle looking bullish last week, there was nothing to say that it was going to go up. And because of that, we obviously did see price come up on Friday. And we tapped back into this daily for we tapped 5 times last week. I was thinking that the week would start bullish and then drop and look out at taking previous weekly high. But my position was still safe. So I was still holding this trade down to this liquidity low as a potential area for price to reject that. So that was my TP. It's only about a 2R. The reason why I'm not playing down to there is because I favour that on GU way more. And I don't think EU is as bearish in the higher time frames to deduce that that's the fair move. And obviously on GU I took 3 positions. There's not really too much else to say than I deem this to be not enough to go up. And I wanted to see these lows targeted because, I mean, look at the higher time frames, obviously. You can see what it's looking like now. But in my head at the time, we had a failed swing to this high. Made this huge area. We have a lot of liquidity stacking up down there, and I favour that on the higher time frames. So I was looking for that, and we did engulf last week's candle. So a lot of traders might be trying to buy, but I've never been bullish on this ever since probably the end of July. I've still been bearish. I've still had to trust my analysis with the 3 positions that I was in. So I took a position back at really almost 3 weeks ago now. Price went into profit about 3R, pulled back in the following week, tagged me into my other position. Nearly got stopped out on that. Then got into this position at the end of last week. And I said, look, I'm really highly leveraged here. Because that's the strategy I trade. I get into more moves when price continues to present opportunities. I don't think that's by coincidence that I try and maximise the good times when it's doing well and price is offering. Because that's what the best traders do. They understand that 3, 4, 5, 6 months of the year probably aren't going to be that good. But the 3, 4, 5, 6 months that are good, they make them really good. So that's how they really focus on maximising the year. Because the market doesn't always move good all the time. And you're not going to have good months all the time. And I don't care what trader you are. If you're expecting to have 12 profitable months in a row, I just think you're deluded. Because I don't think many traders can pull that off consistently over years ever. I don't know any trader that's done that. So with how I trade, that's how I do it. And I don't care that I've had 9 losses in a row. This is my confidence in the strategy setting up. And that's what I do. That's what I trust. And you've got to trust your strategy and you've got to trust what you do, because whether or not you're in a winning streak or a losing streak, if you can't stick to your strategy, no matter what conditions are, then you shouldn't trade it, in my opinion. So that's me going into this week. And we're going to see what Monday did. And we're going to go through each day on each pair. So Monday, we saw straight upside. We took out previous weekly high on DXY. Still closed pretty strong. And I think from this point here, it was looking a bit unsure, especially on EU. That's a weird candle there. Obviously, we've got the no gaps in. It looks a little bit better. We had a bit of an issue at previous weekly low. And then obviously GU, I was thinking I was going to get stopped out in that position. And it was quite close to that position at the time as well. It was only about 50 pips from taking me out on both. Got very close to getting stopped out there on Monday. And then I don't know, I thought it was going to go up, to be honest. I thought we were going to come up deeper to take this out. But somehow we didn't. So Tuesday continued up. DXY filled up the next 2 days and we cleared all this liquidity. So what I wanted to say about Tuesday and Wednesday is when Tuesday and Wednesday comes up, especially Wednesday, and it comes into this liquidity and it closes bullish at it, to me, that's not going to go down now like this to take out this area. I know we've got some nice daily liquidity stacking up here. To me though, this signifies a higher high because it's cleared these highs, and there's a higher chance if we do make a high, we'll probably see a continuation of this trend. And that's what we ended up seeing on EU. We did see Tuesday and Wednesday drop, and you can see there it's looking very slow, but it is playing out to some degree. And that was the second point on the 3-point liquidity there. And I was like, we might yesterday get the pullback before coming down, but there wasn't any POIs in here. So it was looking a bit unsure, to be honest. And I was thinking that may not get tapped, but obviously we'll see in a minute that it did. GU just kept me in by the skin of my teeth on that position. And then, yeah, Tuesday and then Wednesday. So again, kind of having issues at previous weekly low there on GU. But yesterday was a huge day, and we saw DXY continue up into this daily, and it in fact filled it. So we've completely filled this area. So what I'm expecting now on DXY, price doesn't move bullish all the time. I can be expecting a pullback going into next week, but I am banking on more trades for EU and GU sells, and I will be looking for setups because, as we can see on Thursday, TP hit on EU, so that was a really nice trade, 2R. And that is that one done, and I'm very happy about this. But look, I lost 4R in this area. Ever since I started selling from here, I did lose 4R. So I haven't really made profit in this area, and I've got to look back at that and try and understand why. So yeah, maybe a consolation on EU, but GU is just a beast at the minute, and GU played out yesterday. We can see that it is looking a lot better now. So I'm out of this position about nearly a 3R, so I've done 5R between these two trades. And that set me up for October especially, because that trade was October, this GU. The previous month, EU was a win. And I'm still in these two positions, but as you can see, like, I'm feeling confident on the idea. I'm not going to close out, because this trade got tagged in, never come back to entry. Then it got a continuation after going 3R up, tagged me into my second position. We're making further lows now. Even if we pull back, I am looking for this to be taken out. And what I might do on one of these positions is move the TP to the wick, start of the wick. And then the reason why I would do that is because on funded accounts especially, one of them I've not even had a payout on FTMO. So I'm looking for that refund. And if I can get the refund, then obviously that sets me up to be able to buy more challenges in the future. And to be honest, I have to show you in a minute, the FTMO is in a ridiculous position that, regardless of me moving one of the TPs slightly higher, is not really going to change the fact that I'm going to get multiple 5-figure payouts if they come in. So the next thing I want to talk about is all the accounts. Coming onto the live spreadsheet, you can see here that we still have a few trades running. One from the 23rd of September, one from the 30th. If they were to play out, I think September's like a 10-hour month. And I've just completely counteracted all the summer losses, all done there. This to start the month, nearly a 3R to start October. So I'm already in a very good position just from seeing these trades starting to roll in. And I've not clawed back all the drawdown yet, but it's getting there. And it shows that I've stuck in there, traded the way I needed to. I just think I'm showing the levels, and it's not the levels of how good I am, it's the levels of what it actually takes to be a funded trader. No trader will show you on here a prop firm journey of Lily blowing 2-3 of their funded accounts, going on an iTrade losing streak over months. People messaging you saying that you're doing this wrong, doing that wrong, when I know exactly what I need to do to have an edge in the market. And I don't have to be the best trader to have a mil funding, and you don't have to be the best trader in the world to have a mil funding. But there's certain things that you do have to do day in, day out to get yourself there. The part that everyone wants to see where I'm at with the accounts, obviously FTMO, they're both funded, and I'm max allocated with them, and I'm looking at a lot of profit here sitting on the table. I've never seen payouts this big. I could close out now and get nearly 15k in profit on these, but they've still got double the amount to go. And that's the hard thing, is you might be trying to get funded, but you can't even imagine being in this position. But you have to remember that down the line, and I've thought about this previously in the past, is that I'm going to be in this position. We're going to have tens of thousands running from all your funded accounts. You cannot get in your head before you've closed them trades in the accounts that you're making this profit and you can start doing this and that with the money, because I just want to stick to what I do best and make the decisions right. And if that means I go back into drawdown because these pull back, then so be it. I'm not really that kind of trader to want to just close out off fear, because that's not what good traders do. And I've always said in my videos, I'm setting up for the long term. I've done the $300 payouts, I've done the $500 payouts, I've done the 5k payouts. Now I'm looking for the 5-figure payouts. Now I'm looking for multiple 5-figure payouts on FTMO. And this will come in good timing. And if I wait there and do the right things, next week, week after, I will have probably, if these come in, probably nearly 20k profit on this one and 10k profit on that one. And that will be huge for me because it's just going to set myself to another level than I've been before. And that's all I really care about, is I want to set certain levels in my head that I'm reaching and I'm going to that next level, because just passing the funded account to me means nothing anymore. Like, I've done it so many times, you don't get a buzz out of it at all. Passing phase 1, passing phase 2. When it first happens, you're on top of the world, and it's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing, and that's what I'm talking about. There's levels, and then you start looking at getting a 4-figure payout, and then you start looking at getting a 5-figure payout. There's just a constant evolution in prop firms is that you've always got to look for that next level, and that's what I'm looking to do. So yeah, we're in an amazing position with these, and they're obviously running really nice. So we'll see where they're at next week, and it'll be great to hit TPs with them. But I'm not going to get my hopes up because, look, as I said, it's unrealised P&L right now. Fibers is looking better. Obviously, I was down at 8%. Now we're looking at being only 3% down. These trades come in, I will get scaled up on this, so I'll be at 10% profit. I will also be looking to drop my rest to 0.5, not 0.75. It's done my head too much getting that close to failing an actual funded account. Close escape if these trades come in, and I'm really going to have to reevaluate where I'm at with that. And it's the same for the funded, next funded. It's like I'm actually up on the equity, and you can see that I was actually down just last week, 7%. I was down at 93, and now I'm actually up, which means a lot because that would mean this account will be back to even. If I can get a nice couple of K payout on that as well, would just allow me to go back to 0.5% and not do 0.75 and just take it slowly. This is looking good. We nearly blew this challenge, and we're now in profit on it. These trades will win, then obviously I'll get phase 1 passed. So I don't know how Funded Next will take that, but I've stuck to my rules, I've stuck to my plan, and everything has just happened in the way it's happened, really. BrightFunded I want to talk about because these are all challenge accounts now. I obviously had that issue with them telling me that I trailed my stop loss into profit on one of my winners that I won about 4% on. I wasn't very happy with it, and obviously I wouldn't be now because it's got an even more profit. And then I had another trade that I had. They got closed out in minus 1% loss halfway because I risked 2%. Trailing stop loss again, apparently. And I've definitely not done that. And I know I haven't done that. And they closed me out. And I'm just pretty livid about it because I've never had a problem on any prop firm. And for them to just close me out of random positions at random times only leaves me now on BrightFunded to basically take my TP and SL off every position that I take so I don't trail. And then it's like, well, they close me out on something else. So I don't recommend anyone going with BrightFunded. I'm here to share my experience and go for many prop firms and put my money on the line. And these guys have just really got to me, to be honest, because, yeah, okay, I'm up about 2.5%. And if this trade plays out, I'm only on one position at the minute. I'll be up like 6% on phase 1. But, man, they took me for a ride for sure. And I've been with these for ages. And I will get a free account if I pass because I got a discount. If I get my first payout, then I'll get another account. So we'll see how that goes. But FundingRock, can only say good things about FundingRock. I've actually passed phase 1, and you can see here that I'll be doing a video on this. But yeah, we just took 2 GU trades and just won them both. So yeah, perfect start to that. So we're actually getting somewhere with the challenges for once, and I really want to look to pass this soon. All I need to take is one decent winner next, and that will be passed, and I'll be another 200k funded. So yeah, that was just down to taking the trades at the right times, and that's what I say about the challenges is that I've staggered them. So some I've blown. I've recently blown quite a lot of actual challenges, 300k worth of challenges, and now go into a new challenge and pass it straight away. That's just the game, and that's what you've got to play. Sometimes you pass them straight away, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you will just blow them completely. So we're in phase 2 on that. We'll see how we get on going into the rest of October, but I've got a good feeling I'll pass this because 5% profit target, really no active trading days needed. I just need to take 0.01s and then get that one winner. And even if I lose, then one other winner should, or maybe 2 winners, depending on the size, will get me funded with FundingRock. So yeah, that's where I'm at with everything. I obviously have never been in a position like this before where things can obviously still change. And I don't really know at this point where we're going to be standing next week with allowing pullbacks to happen. I doubt price will just run down to these targets. But as I said, I'm in a very lucrative position now where if things do go my way, then it would seem like 4 months worth of getting nowhere has all of a sudden just taken me to new heights. But that's the game I know I play, and that's the game of trading, where you doubt yourself for months. And I do doubt myself. I still doubt things, but I don't let it affect the way I trade, because I just do it. I just act. I act how I know I need to act, regardless of how I'm feeling. But if you can't separate that as a trader, and that's the hardest thing, to separate your emotions from your actions. And if you can't separate them, you'll never be successful. And you've got to roll with the punches, I think. And at times, I'm sure many viewers, like I put myself on the line for thousands of viewers here, that probably going, what is he doing? And even I've looked at times going, what am I doing here? Just taking loss after loss. But then again, I do it again. Like, done it 3 months ago. I got my biggest payouts after a massive losing streak, looking like it could be happening again. And then it all makes sense. And then you just go, well, that's trading in it, really. So, great week. Speak to you guys soon. Hope you had a good week. And obviously, we'll come back next week and probably like a week in the life or something instead to keep this one rolling. Take care. See you later. Peace out.